Hey everybody, this is an SSFA quarterfinal game between the Minnesota Vikings and the Washington Redskins. The Redskins got the ball first. There's some technical difficulties at first. Looked like Tony may have loaded the wrong pre or loaded both pre's. So we're off and running now. Redskins have Alvin Kamara as their main back here. Phillip Rivers as the quarterback, Julio Jones, Kenny Golladay, and Jordan Reed as the targets. Andy Janovich is the fullback, off tackle left to Kamara to start it off. Tony's got a couple of stalwart 6th-rated defensive tackles there, so they'll be tough to run against. But Tony's missing his linebackers. They're not rated 6s anymore like they have been in the past. Von Miller's a 5'6", 12, though, still very dangerous. And Brian Rakpo's a 4'4". So we're off and running, 2nd and 9. Pitch out right to Kamara, going after that 4 defensive end with the 6 fullback. It's kind of a good idea. And oh no, I'm sorry, he's going the other way. He's going right, and that hits a short gain on Kamara's card. Let's see. Yeah, so he went after Carlos Dunlap, but it didn't matter. It landed on the offensive card. So 16-yard pickup. And we're sitting at 1st and 10, Washington out to the 42. Now, during the regular season, these two teams played a crazy one that Washington won 42-10. But Minnesota's the home team in this one, defending 2-time champion, 2-time Tony, as Tom calls him. And he's going to give it his best today. And he's got the advantage as far as the defensive cards. The home team has the good pass defense, and the road team has the average pass defense. So the Vikings using average good, Redskins are using average. So another 1-yard pickup on 1st down, and we're going to 2nd and 9. Off tackle left to Chris Carson. So Chris Carson, looks like a snap fumble. Chris Carson joins Alvin Kamara in the backfield, sharing those duties. Phillip Rivers of 1 out of 1,000 fumble chance, and he fumbled it, but he's able to jump on it, or at least Kelvin Beachum did, and it'll be 3rd and 11. Anything can happen in these playoff games. Big plays, turnovers. Both these teams have quick strike offenses. So we're going to go to a 3-wide set with Kamara in the backfield. David Moore joins Julio Jones and Kenny Golladay. And it's going to be a slant to Jordan Reed, incomplete on the D card. So the good D card coming into play there. The 46-yard punt is going to roll all the way down to the 6-yard line. So that's where the Vikings will start their offensive drive. They have Andrew Luck as their quarterback. Mike Evans and Julian Edelman are the receivers. Rob Gronkowski is the tight end. Michael Burton is the blocking back. Their line goes 6-7, 4-5, 4-4, 5-4, and 4-7. So a couple of 7s in there. Tony says he hasn't played in a month. Forgets what he likes to do with this group. So instead of going the blocking back set, which I just detailed, he takes out Burton, brings in Nick Boyle as the second tight end. So he's got 2 5 blockers on the edge. His run blocking goes, gets a little bit of a boost with 2 5s on the ends, a 6 and a 5, as well as 3 4s. Greeda is in the backfield. He's got 17 unfatigued carries. Definitely a nice card. So let's see how Tony attacks this. 4-3 showing blitz. Quick slant to Nick Boyle. It's going to be guessed wrong. There's a man in the zone. A 5 reduced to a 4. And it hits a blank on Boyle's card. square out right to Mike Evans. 4 linebackers there on that side. It's going to be a 12-yard pickup on a guest right roll on Mr. Evans' card. No double team receptions for him, but he's plenty dangerous without that. Seems like Evans should have a double be one of those double team receivers. Maybe in time. Fly to Mike Evans. Short yardage defense. This is not good for Keith, and it's not good. Receiver reading 64-yard pickup. That's going to be 1st and 10 inside the red zone for the Vikings, just like that. So I don't know if we're going to see that 42-10 repeat. Keith says nice. Breida in the backfield again, 2 tight end set. Inside run to Breida. And that's going to be a short gain, 11-yard pickup. So even guessed right. Things are going well for the Vikings. 2-time Tony looking to become 3-time Tony. First and goal. At the 7, full house. Breida is joined by Latavius Murray. So even when Breida's out of those unfatigued carries, he's got Latavius Murray, who's pretty capable back himself. Inside run to Breida. Guessed right. It's going to be no gain. 2nd and goal. Guessed wrong would have been a touchdown. So good call there by Keith. The Redskins are coached by Keith Mowbray. Vikings are coached by Tony Pierscala. Tevin Coleman's another back he's got. So he's got a little bit of a receiving threat there. Inside run to Coleman. It's guessed wrong. There's a 0 rated linebacker there. 6-0 is Schobert's going to be. Doesn't matter. It's on the offensive cards. Guessed wrong. Touchdown. Tony takes the early 6-0 lead, pending the extra point. And let's make that 7-0. He says Knights drive, and he answers with a touchdown roll on Jakeem Grant's card, but it's turned into a long gain. It's going to take it all the way down to the 10-yard line, 90 yards in total, 87-yard kickoff return. So it was a long game. The white die was a 1. Or sorry, the white die was a 6, so it turned into a touchdown, turned into a long gain. And then the long gain roll was a 2, which is an 87-yard gain. So let's see if they can cash this in. That's a nice break for the Redskins. He says needed that. Things were ugly on D. Yeah, they were, but just don't throw a pick here and you'll be okay. Brings in Kamara. He's got those good short gains guessed wrong. It's going to be a quick out right to Jordan Reed. 5 linebacker there. It's only going to pick up a yard as the defender +1 or +3 makes the play. Adrian Amos up to the task. Second and goal. Now Tony's showing blitz. Let's look at his D-line. 5'9", 6'10", 6'5", 4'8". It's a run call down and out to Kamara, covered by a 4. This should be good for Keith. And instead, it's an interception split. Things just not going the Redskins' way so far. See what goes on 3rd and goal. One good roll could change everything. Even getting the field goal is a good thing. So let's look at his pass blocking. 7, 7, 7, 5, 7. Wow. So that should help out Rivers in the dump off game. No dump offs here, though. It's inside the 10. Down and out to Kamara, and it gets sacked. So all those 7s, and he still gets sacked. It went against the asterisk reading, which means the back, who looks like he was a target, so an auto sack there. So 4th and goal at the 11. He'll settle for 3. Should have been thrown to somebody else. Easy for me to say. So 7-3. So Minnesota will take over, leading by 4. Off tackle right to Breida, gets strong. Keats got to get his defensive calls in sync. Tony's had him off balance so far. Second and 5. Coleman checks in the 2 tight end set. Screen right to Edelman. Now there's a good defensive call. Correctly double teamed. And it'll be a 1-yard pickup. Breaks containment though, so good news for Tony. So 3rd and 4 out to the 31. Inside run draw to Breida, and that picks up 12. The center makes the block. Joe Looney was a 4, and able to come up with exactly what he needed to keep the drive alive. So 1st and 10 now to the 43. Coleman in there now. Off tackle left to Coleman. It's going to be a 5-yard pickup. And that'll be 2nd and 5. Coleman again in the backfield. Quick slant to Gronk. 6 pass defense. They're in the zone. Goes on the receiver card for a 9-yard pickup. That's old Joe Schobert. It was a 6-0. I think he's a 5-0 in this coming set. We got the ratings preview out yesterday. 1st and 10 now, Minnesota looking to take a 2-score lead. They're into Washington territory. Breida back in the backfield. Inside run to Breida. zone stuff, but it's guessed wrong. And it's going to be a short gain. Breida and the Vikings offense are rolling now in field goal range. I'll take a left to Coleman, called correctly. There's a run call there. But it's a short gain. I'm telling you, everything's going up roses for Tony so far. Coleman in there still. Four three showing blitz. Sideline right to Edelman. There's 2 men in the zone, but it goes on the quarterback's card. It'll be 2nd and goal or 2nd and 1 at the 6. Full house for the Vikings. Inside run to Murray. Guessed right. But Murray's a very good guessed right runner. That'll pick up a yard. And it'll be 1st and goal at the 5. Another run to Murray, guessed right. Man in the zone. But remember, the linebacker in zones is 0 against the run. So in those situations, you want to have a backup that's at least a 4. That would have stuffed it there for a 2-yard gain instead of a 5-yard gain. But that's a touchdown. And Tony's going to go up 14-3 here, pending the extra point. Now, and the extra point's bad. See, second time that's burned me before in a broadcast, a recent podcast. So 13-3. $28-yard return. Yes, Kamara, the number 2 returner, gets the ball this time. So 1st and 10, Redskins, a little shell-shocked right now. Screen left to Kamara. It's going to be a 10-yard pickup. There's a 1st down. Let's see if that gets them rolling. All you need is one good drive to get you back in the groove. Pitch out left to Kamara, guessed right. But Andy Janovich makes the block. Sideline right to Galladay. One man there, he's a 5. 6-yard guessed right on Rivers' card. Now, Rivers has a pretty good card. A little bit interception prone on the deep pass, but I think he's got like a long gain on 8 and plus 31 on 9. So worth the risk from time to time to pump it out there. Off tackle left to Chris Carson. Guessed correctly, but it hits a short gain and a fumble. Is Washington going to get it back? I think they did. But man, just the things is bobbling the ball, a little nervousness here on behalf of the visitors. But the good news is they have it back inside the 30, 1st and 10. Washington looking to get in the end zone for the first time today. Tony says, payback. I got that twice earlier. He recovered a couple of his own fumbles already. And here's a sack. It wasn't payback for long. Damone Harrison beats Ode Ibushi, the only 5 rated pass blocker on the line on that. I think it was a flat pass. Was it a flat pass or a short pass? I missed it. And that'll make it 2nd and 20. Rivers not having a very solid start so far. He goes 3 wide. Tony responds with a 4-2-5, brings the free safety down to the middle to curl to Julio Jones. He'll be guessed right and hits for +12 on Rivers' card. So that's how he can make up for it. Needs one more completion here on the short pass card to get a first down. Let's see what he does. Inside run, he tries to run for it, break contain, but he'll settle for the field goal. And Kaimi Fairbairn kicks it through. It'll be 13-6. And a 27-yard return after it was kicked down to the 8. And that'll be first and 10 there for the Vikings. So despite all the early bad luck, it's still a 1-score game thanks to the mix. Well, the 1-score game either way, but it's only a 7-point lead thanks to the missed extra point. And first and 10. The Redskins need to stop here. Inside run to Breida. 4-yard pickup. This time Joe Loney can't make the block. Loney. So 2nd and 6. And it's a long gain receiver reading on a sniper scope on the Washington D card. So, no matter what happens here, Keith just can't seem to get things going, get in gear. And Andrew Luck's off to a hot start, 6 of 7 for 137. It's going to be a 5-yard loss, pitch out right to Tevin Coleman, and Keith goes with the short yardage defense. I'm not a big fan of the short yardage defense. I'd rather you just call run and not give up the penalties that a short yardage defense gives you with the -1 reading to your cornerbacks, but that worked out there. So 2nd and 15. Keith looking to hold Tony to a field goal here. Quick slant to Boyle. 6-pass defender there, guessed right. Oh, well, that would have been a big point if he would have been able to get that pick split or double team him to get the pick. All right, so 3rd and 14, 3-3-5 showing blitz. Inside run draw to Coleman. He's got a 0. Remember, it's at 0 against the run there. It's only going to pick up a yard though, and that'll bring out Mason Crosby. Now Crosby is good 2 through 8 if it gets a negative adjustment. Otherwise, 2 through 10. And stays there in that good range. So 2 through 10, the roll's a 6, so it'll be 16-6. You know, it's been a lot of bad luck for Washington, but they could turn it around here. Again, you just need one good drive. They did get the ball first, though, so the Vikings will get the ball to start the second half. So they've gone punt, field goal, and the Vikings have gone touchdown, field goal. Deep to Kamara is going to throw a pick. So it goes from bad to worse for Keith. Tony looking strong here. Takes over at the 45. With that kind of card, that kind of offense, you can come back quickly. What happened to that 42-10 game? Perfect red zone for the Redskins. 2 picks for Luck. So, you know, we'll see what happens. Slant to Gronk. Again, he goes with the short yardage defense. I do not like that short yardage defense. Gets lucky there, though. Hits the blank on Gronk's card. Two tight end set. Sideline right to Edelman. Forward linebacker there. And he's going to make the play. Ryan Kerrigan swats it away. 3rd and 10. Curled and Mike Evans. Guessed right, single covered. It's going to be dump off for 7. And that should get Tony to give his punter his first work of the day. DeMarcus Lawrence was coming there against DeMar Dotson. But he didn't make it. 24% chance of a sack. Dustin Colquitt checks in. 50-yard punt. Coffin corner, and it's out of bounds at the 4. So that's where Washington will take over. Just trying to keep their head above water here. So it goes to the blocking back halfback. We haven't seen too much of Chris Carson today. Kamara's gotten the majority of the work. Deep to Kamara. And it's going to be a sack and a safety. He was uncovered. That was Carlos Dunlap up against Kelvin Beacham 7. So those 7s are not really doing the job today. So that would be 18-6, and the Redskins got to punt it away. Now, if Tony can take up most of the time here, on this drive, they get the ball first, they could really bury the Redskins. Imagine they drive down the field, get a touchdown, make it 25-6, take up almost all the time, then get the ball first in the second half, drive down, and suddenly it's 32-6, and good night, nurse. He says, "You're all over me today." That was a good decision. Going deep to Kamara, the linebacker was on the line of scrimmage, so he would have been, there was nobody in the zone. The free safety was double teaming elsewhere. But sometimes players make plays, and that time Carlos Dunlap made a big one. Hitch to Mike Evans, being double covered. Incomplete. A turnover by the Vikings, or even a quick 3 and out. The Redskins are back in business. They do need to figure out what to do on offense, though. They haven't really had too much success. Or on defense. So let's see if they can get their second punt in a row. Coleman back there. 4-3 showing blitz. We saw a sniper scope before. The defensive line for the Redskins, it's a slanted Gronk, guess right, that goes 5'9", 6'11", 5'6", and 6'12", 1. The ball goes to Coleman on a dump off for 8 yards. There was only a 5% chance of a sack as Michael Bennett went up against Andrew Whitworth's 7. 7-5-4-4-7. A couple times there's been a sack rush, or pass rush chance for the Redskins, but it's gone up against Minnesota Sevens, and they've held the line. It's a run defensive call on a fly to Mike Evans. We saw him get a 68-yarder earlier. Can he get something big again? No, this time it's incomplete as it hits the interception split on the D card, and the Redskins catch a break there, and they will get that quick 3 and out that they wanted. Colquitt into punt again. So a little banter back and forth. Keith says, "I felt that coming. Almost double teamed him." And Tony says, "I figured I'd take a shot. Not my usual nature. Go big or go home, Tony. I think you've been doing well, following your whatever nature it is. Back-to-back champs, man. Just keep riding it." And there's a punt down to the 22. The Skins will take over with 3:54 to go. Who knows if they'll be the Redskins for long? Apparently, the actions of the Redskins sponsors, including FedEx and Nike, have gotten them to take a look at their name. And we might be seeing a long overdue renaming of the Redskins. Washington Generals, anyone? Screen right to Kamara. Guessed right, 1 man in the zone. And it'll be a white die 6, and he gets out of bounds, out to the 35. Now, looking at it from the Redskins' point of view, if they can get it to, let me put my broadcast link out. I forgot to do that. If they can get in the end zone and make it 18-13 at halftime, that would be a good thing. And that's going to go nowhere. Offensive onside tackle +5 or +0. we should get it over on the forum too. Do that in a second. Let me move it over to my other screen. Quick slant to read. Guessed right. 5 defender in the zone, and that'll pick up just a yard. So 3rd and 9. (4-2-5) showing blitz. Crossing pattern to David Moore. Covered by a 4. And it'll be a 14-yard, huge 14-yard pickup by Rivers to Moore. And that'll be a 1st and 10 at midfield. Offense takes a timeout. That's their first one. 2:24 to go in the half. (18-6). Vikings on top of the Redskins. 3 wide against a 3-3-5. Quick slant to read. Guessed right. Nobody's in the zone. And it'll be a 7-yard pickup down to the 43 of the Vikings. So, you have games like this where things just go wrong. We had a snap fumble by Rivers. We had a pick. We had a safety. And that's just, you're just trying to keep your head above water. You have one sustained drive that ended in a field goal. The other field goal was a result of a long kick return. So on the other side, the first 3 drives were like dream drives for Minnesota, touchdown, field goal. Now they've struggled a little bit, but that offense can get back on track really quick. So you got to take advantage of this if you're the Redskins. You need to get in the end zone. 2 minutes to go, 2nd and 3. Even a field goal at least gives you a little bit of breathing room, but you're still down 2 scores. Touchdown here would be huge. Goes 3 wide with Kamara in the backfield. He'll run out of this set. What you don't want here is a end run that results in a wide die 1 and lose 7 yards, and suddenly it's 3rd and 10. If you're going to run it up the middle. Even guessed right, you're going to have some chances to get those 3 yards to keep the chains moving. Chief taking his time as he decides what to do. At least I think that's what's going on. Could have a technical problem, I suppose. Nope, it's definitely a technical problem. So let's get out of here. Put it back in again. What's up, Nathan?
What's going on?
You wanna join me here on the broadcast?
Sure.
Cool. All right. So I don't know what happened to them, but they had something disconnected. So we'll get them back into it. Have you been watching the game the whole time or just recent?
No, I just realized it was on.
Cool. Yeah, I forgot to post the link on the forum, but it's one of those games where everything was going right for Tony and everything was going wrong for Keith. But if Keith gets in the end zone here, it's still, anybody's game. That Rivers card can strike quickly, but the few times he's gone deep, nothing good's happened. We had the interception on one, and then I just think a safety on another, and then incompletions beside that.
What's the score then?
It's 18-6. So
Okay.
The Vikings got 2 touchdowns and a field goal, and they missed an extra point. And then they got the safety. We don't know. Yeah, that's right. So that's how they got their 18. And the Vikings or the Redskins got one good drive that resulted in a field goal, and on another drive they got they rolled a touchdown on Jakeem Grant's kick return card, but it got changed into an 87-yard gain, so they got it first and goal at the 10, but they couldn't get it in the end zone, so that was their other field goal. Where is the new ID? I guess I can try. I mean, maybe it was just me that got disconnected. No, they're definitely disconnected. So this is going to decide if we play next round.
Yeah. Certainly,
your team's a handful, man. That is quite the offense you have.
I think your team and my team are that way. Lots of offense.
Yeah, we each have our
defense.
Exactly. So here comes Tony again, typing something to me. Okay. So they had a problem when they were connecting. I think Tony loaded both pre's, and so when he started the game as the host, it was, he was controlling the Redskins. So I told him to have Keith host, but now Keith is having some kind of issue where, those times where it says like team not found or team ID not found. I saved the game. Now, it's funny because as a spectator, you would think, well, what's the point of saving the game? But believe it or not, I could send one of those coaches my save file, and they could host using that. So there is definitely a chance to get it salvaged if both of these teams have errors. Let's see what happens. This is the lull in the broadcast. How long did you guys go last night with that?
It was long.
Fireside chat. Didn't Tom say I'm tired? I'm not going to be able to go more than an hour or two.
It was like 1:30 in the morning my time, so it was like 4:30 for him.
Okay, I'm gonna just check something here. I'm glad I was actually watching this one because let's see. I just want to make sure my save's good. So if we go to SSFA playoff, I have this manual save here. Keith versus Tony. So you just launched it, no errors. Good. Okay. So I'm going to send this to Tony and let him host using this. Yeah, I saw that your post about Zeitler and Tyrann Mathieu. That was huge for me to be able to get those guys to get back to their normal ratings. I wasn't sure if that was going to happen.
They're pretty good players. That's why I wasn't willing to release them too quickly last year. But I was surprised that not many people were really interested, it seemed like. So that worked out better for you.
Yeah, lucky, that's for sure. It's almost like, because, me, I'm always trading away my first round picks or second round picks to get those 5 cornerbacks, because I never can seem to draft a cornerback. It's one of those cycles where, because I'm trading away my picks, I can never select those guys. And then because I don't have those guys, I have to trade away my picks to grab them, wind up trading for the veteran 5s, and then like Jonathan Joseph or Aqib Talib, and then next thing you know, they're They're no longer veteran 5s. So it's fun. So let's see if this helps them out. So this is where you put your save, folks. So you find out where your strat football's installed. Go to leagues. The name of the league. I have League 185. That's a lot of leagues.
Surprised it's that low.
Well, I had to, I was doing the encyclopedias for everything. And so, I was restoring all these old SOMSFA, SSFA, SOMIFA, Autumn Wind leagues, and then creating the encyclopedias. Although I don't think anybody really looks at them. I mean, you might take a quick glance to look at one guy. Like I really was doing it to see how many yards Frank Gore had in SSFA since I've had him, the entire time. But besides that, even I don't look at it that much. I mean, I might check out, I compared like Russell Wilson in the different leagues, but there's not really that much difference between the stats. So I don't know what exactly some people really like that kind of stuff. I'm just like mildly interested in it, but I do like having it for all the leagues.
Yeah, I'll go back and try to look in some. My leagues aren't always even accessible anymore. Some of the older ones.
Right. So that's why I wanted to at least have a record of it so we can look at it, sometime down the line. But somebody's got to do it, right? So anybody, so Mifa's rebuilding. How's your Autumn Wind team looking?
I mean, Van Der Esch getting a 5 is going to help me. But I got a 0 from Darby, which it hurts. Chung with a 6, or not Chung, but McCourty with a 6 at safety. And Play with a 5. I might be okay. It's going to depend on Brady's card, and I don't think it's going to be that good of a team. It's hard in that league, though, because even what I would consider usually a mediocre team can usually go to the playoffs because of the 30 teams.
Yeah. I do think coaching has so much to do with it, though, that even if you don't think you have a great team, like my team's not good. I mean, it's got a lot of holes, especially like my offensive line is a mess. Like I'll be starting some 0-2s and I have no picks to remedy that.
Line. That's about one of the things I do like in that league.
Yeah. So you should do fine. It's so hard to rebuild in a 32 team league quickly. I mean, you can get some pieces, but you can't like it's hard to turn. You've done it. I've seen you do it where you trade everybody off and then you're back in it. But I guess the flip side of that is that once you have a good team, if those core pieces are solid, you can contend for the playoffs most years, even if you don't have a championship caliber team. Like I think even though my team's weak, I might be able to get in the playoffs again.
Yeah, I don't know if I'll do a full rebuild in Autumn Wind ever because you can't trade for future first rounders.
That's what really makes it difficult. You're right about that.
Even when you're not very good, against 30 teams, you usually can find good matchups, even with a bad team. You almost never run into a team where you can't find good matchups on offense to try to attack. So you're going to win more often than you would in a total rebuild in other leagues.
Right. And it just seems like some guys, and we're back in business.
All right.
So some guys are just like, they just make their picks and don't make too many trades. They're just kind of like, they're happy just to play the games, and that's cool. Nothing wrong with that. But they're not like trying to, like, I don't know, okay, I'm going all out. I'm gonna try to compete this year. There's definitely a group that does that, but there's also a group that just like kind of goes with the flow every year. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
So.
And in a bigger league, you're gonna have even more of them. So.
True. But the one cool thing about Autumn Wind is that no turnover the last 3 years.
Oh yeah.
Sideline right to Galladay on a run call. So I had mentioned that Keith is not afraid to run Kamara out of this set, and Tony picked that up as well. Decided to be proactive and call run, but that's going to backfire on him. It was a white die 6 anyway, but that gives Keith exactly what he needed. First and goal inside the 30. Now, earlier on this drive, Rivers hit Galladay for a 14-yard, or no, hit David Moore for a 14-yard gain to keep the drive alive and get it out to midfield. And now with 152 left, looks like he's on his way at least to a field goal. But you want to get a touchdown here because the Vikings are going to get the ball first in the second half, and you don't want it to be a 2-score lead with them having the ball.
It's around the nickel 4-2-5 against the 3 wide.
He's done this before. He'll drop that free safety in the middle. Let's see if he. Nope, he doesn't do it this time. He puts it to the left. That's perfect placement for Tony, as there's 2 men in the zone now, and it's incomplete. That would have been a big turn if he would have landed on a 3 on the D card. So 2nd and 10 here. Of course, if he would have thrown to the look, and that would have been a short gain. Gotta love the cat and mouse in these leagues.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of that nickel 4-2-5. It's pretty obvious there's either going to be the hole right there in the middle or there's going to be one deep.
Right. And yeah, you leave yourself vulnerable to either of those spots. One thing that Keith was doing, he's done it 2 or 3 times during the game, is go short yardage defense against Tony. Tony burned him for a deep pass to Mike Evans to set up one of his touchdowns. So here's a crossing pattern to Moore. He still stays with that 4-2-5. This time it's on Rivers' card for an 11-yard hit, and that'll be 1st and 10 out down to the 17, 1:37 to go. So you kind of almost want to stop trying to get out of bounds here, right? You don't want to give Tony so much time left.
Yeah. He's got 2 timeouts. He's got all the time he needs.
Yeah, I think that unless he's thinking that he can get a stop and try to get into field goal range after a touchdown here. Or maybe, a lot of times coaches aren't even thinking of that. They just go with whatever the computer manager suggests. So pitch out left to Kamara, guessed wrong, but there's a man plug in the zone. And it goes on Kamara's car for a 12-yard pickup, gets out of bounds, and 1st and goal at the 5. So this had the potential to be a blowout because just before this drive, Vikings leading 18-6. After they got the safety, they had the ball, and they could have, with about 5 minutes left, they could have used up all the time, and then got the ball first in the second half. But they failed on a 3rd down and 7. They got like 6 yards, punted it away, and this is what Keith has done with the ball. So 1st and goal at the 5. Pitch out right to Kamari. Stays on the ground. Nobody's in the zone. Guessed wrong. Offensive guard +8 or +3. He finally unchecks that get out of bounds selection, so he can take it down to a minute. But Tony might use a timeout here himself. And he does. So 1:22 left. Vikings looking to get a last drive before the half. So who do you like in the other game on Monday? It looks like the Jets and Chiefs will be playing then.
I think off the top of my head, the Jets probably have a better team.
Yeah, way better team.
Amazing.
Yeah, so it'll be tough for the Chiefs, even though they have the home field. Slanted read on a key to Kamara, and it's a touchdown. So there it is. You hold your breath when you're on offense because you got the right call. It's guessed wrong. There's no chance of a sack. You're in good shape, but you're just dreading rolling that 9 on the D card and seeing that drive crumble. So he gets in the end zone, makes it 18-13. The Vikings with the ball with about a minute left. Up 5. Yeah, Tom's team's obviously the best in the league this year, but that doesn't mean he's going to win the championship. It's tough to do it.
Probably has a better offense too, is a thing. So better offense and better defense.
Yep. The only thing going in Kansas City's favor is that good pass defense card, because I think there's a 4 seed and Tom's a 5 seed.
But that mainly is going to show up short to long.
Right.
And Tom will throw there, but he's not going to need to throw there as much with the way he's playing.
Right. Keeps it flats and on the ground with a bomb mixed in. Although his pass blocking is so good, I think he likes to get those dump offs too.
Yeah, but like he'll put Humphreys in over the 6-3 over the 4-7.
Right, you're right about that.
But if they're not guessing, pass, then it doesn't matter when you do throw it.
Yeah, so that's where he said his season turned around, is when he stopped trying to throw it so much and just went to the ground and pound offense. So first down carry for 5 yards by Coleman, and Tony doesn't use a timeout. He goes hurry up, so 37 seconds left. Maybe he'll try to throw one deep here, seeing that Keith is in 4-3, or try to hit a long gain on Coleman's card. That's going to pick up 7 and a first down. 30 seconds left. He'll use a timeout here. Still's got a chance to get in the field goal range if Coleman pops a 28-yarder or something, or Breedy hits a couple short gains. First and 10. 3 wide now for the Vikings. So they go away from the run game, unless they're going to give it to Coleman out of a 3 wide set. What I like about Keith's team is all those 7s on his offensive line, but he's given up a couple sacks today despite that.
Yeah, he's built to pass, and Kamara is a good receiver.
One of the sacks was when it was an asterisk reading against Kamara, and he was the intended target, so it was an auto sack. And the other one was his 7 getting beat, and then the third one was his only 5 on the line getting beat. So that's a 13-yard hit, and he spikes it. 2nd and 10 with 15 seconds left. He really just needs one more big hit, like on Evans' card or something. Let's look at the what his kicker does. So yeah, he's 2 through 6, 11 and 12 out to the 37. So he gets a 12-yard pickup here. He's at least in fringe field goal range.
Has he been running a lot of 3 receivers early in the game?
No, he was staying base. He was staying 2 tight end with Breeder or Coleman in the backfield instead of Burton as the blocking back. He's going to be going two tights and occasionally use a 3 wide. Slant to Gronk. He's got a great receiver card too. Incomplete. You can try that one more time. If one of those hits, he'll be able to try a long field goal. So look for a pass to Evans or Gronk, or maybe he goes deep to Edelman or Nelson, hoping to catch him trying to double. Coleman can go deep, of course, too, but he's covered by a 6. It's the bomb to Edelman. Single covered by a 4. And it's incomplete. So now it's Hail Mary time. No reason to punt here. Just crank it up and try to throw deep again. Coleman is a dot on the long pass, so any of these guys can go. And actually, Gronk is not going to be able to make it to the end zone. So look for a target to one of the other 4 guys. Maybe Coleman here, thinking that he has the least chance of being doubled. Bomb to Edelman, doubled by the receiver, 2-minute zone, so this is going nowhere. And that'll be it, halftime. So I am going to go refill my coffee real quick. I'll be right back.
All right.
Did you take over the play-by-play for me?
It was silence.
Cool. I stopped to talk to my wife. So Minnesota got the ball first. Looks like they picked up, at least 1 first down?
They got a couple first downs, and he just got a correct double team on Gronk. So now he's facing a 3rd and 6 here.
Cool. Okay. So big play here. Try to get the ball back, get a chance to cut into that lead.
Oh,
another correct double team. Those are the ones where you hate when it lands on the quarterback's card for +6. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
the 1 or 2 rolls that you get correctly doubled, but he did not. It went on the receiver card, incomplete, and the Vikings will have to punt. And Gronk with plus
Ooh, bad punt.
17-yard punt, and Jakeem Grant's one heck of a returner. Only gets 2 though off the D card. But still, you got the ball. You were down 18-6. You get the ball back now with a chance to take the lead. So you got to feel better if you're Keith.
Oh yeah.
So did you play either one of these teams in the regular season?
I did not play Minnesota, I don't think, but I believe I played Washington.
Let's look. Yeah, I don't see you playing either one of these guys.
Oh, maybe not.
Maybe it was Samswa. I played Washington and did not. Oh, I did. I played them both. So both tough games, but I was able to come away with the win. But now these playoffs is a totally different beast, man.
It's funny, both of these teams were trying to trade me for one of my safeties this year in this league also.
What did I finally offer you? Was a second? Did I ever go higher than that, or was it just a second?
I don't think you offered me a second, but I don't think you necessarily made me an offer because it was kind of.
Oh yeah, because I was asking you, would you trade one of them, and you were like, I'm just going to hang on to him, which was really smart.
At that point, I knew that no one was going to pay what I thought they were probably worth.
Right.
So.
But now, if you wanted to trade Boston,
I can use my dime 416 against the right teams anyway.
Yeah. Ooh, stuff there on 2nd and 2. Linebacker in zone, Von Miller. He'll stop that for you every time. But yeah, the price you could have gotten for Boston as a 5 last year, you think for sure a third, probably a second.
I got offered a third at least by 2 people. Then someone did offer me a second that I thought might be middle of the round-ish, but I still figured I'll use him this year, and I might as well get I was pretty sure he'd get a 6.
Right. Yeah, when you see that rating, looking past the Julio with no linebacker there, you could at least now, if you trade him, instead of getting that second at best last year, you could get a first this year. Somebody will give you a late first for a 6.
Well, even if I got the same value, like if I was able to get early to mid second, even if I got the same value, I still get a year of using him on a decent team.
Right, and you get a hitch to Jones. Looking again, 2 yards on the D card, and you have the benefit of knowing where that second round pick is. So last year, you would have traded for a second. You don't know where it's going to go. You said maybe middle of the round. That guy could have a surprisingly strong year. Now this year, one of those teams that picks high in the second round might give you a second rounder, or low in the first round might give you. It's more locked in, so you know what you're getting.
I should look and see what the draft looks like for safety too, because some years it's not good to trade him anyway.
Right. That's going to be an end run guest right and a man in the zone. So offensive onside in +0 +4. So 3rd and 8 now. Big third down. Tony tightened up on the defense, putting the guys in the right spots and making the right calls to force this 3rd and long. Even if you don't pick up the first down here, at least you can pin him and make him, go a long way. Try to get a 3 and out. So it's a successful start to the second half, at least for the Redskins. Let's see if they can make it really successful. Oh, he goes with a draw, and nobody's in the zone. Does he get the block? No, the center can't do it. Rodney Hudson's only a 4 after being reduced from a 5. But it brings
go for it here.
Yeah, no man's land. 2nd and 4, no containment. I don't like that pro set unless can Janovich run? I don't think he would want to. Yeah, so go blocking back there. If you're no reason to go pro set.
Yeah.
Tony doesn't have those 6 rated linebackers anymore like he used to against the pass. Sideline right to Galladay, 2 men there. Great call by Tony. But if it goes on the offensive cards, it can still convert. It does not. It was a white die 6 too. Look at that. That would have been a first down if you'd have thrown to one of the other zones. So two-time Tony, showing why he's two-time Tony, coming up with a big play. I tell you, to be honest, I'd rather play Tony in the next round than you. Too bad we don't have that rule where you can pick your opponent.
I thought Tony and Tom's teams looked probably the strongest at first glance.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess there's really no,
I mean, I like my offense, but my defense can have problems.
Yeah. I like what you do when you play a team that doesn't have a ton of carries, doing that 4-1-6. That makes it interesting.
Yeah, sometimes it's not even just the carry. Sometimes it's just how their quarterback lines up,
Got it. Hitch to Evans. Guessed right, 6 pass defender there, and Joe Schobert. Incomplete as it hits a negative reading on Evans' card. Has Evans ever had double team completions? He sure seems like he should be one of the receivers that gets them.
He did. Maybe not last year, but the year before. One of those years he had it.
Got it. Because he's
I don't understand why he doesn't. I mean,
yeah, he's one of those receivers. Here's a curl to Evans that they're targeted. Oh, it's picked off on the Andrew Luck's card. He threw 2 picks against them in the regular season in a 42-10 win by the Redskins. So the tide has turned a bit, even with that great call by Tony to stop the drive. They turned the ball over for the first time today. But Evans is one of those receivers that's like really big, really tall that they talk about that that Glenn talked about. Like that's the kind of person we're looking for to get the double team completions.
Well, Evans might be the receiver I'd take over any receiver in Strat, maybe even in the NFL. He's awesome.
Dan's giving me a hard time saying Tom's already in the semis. No, we didn't say that. We just said who would I rather play next round? I
said those were the toughest 2 teams.
Yeah.
So as far as personnel goes.
Dan, I'm rooting for you. I want you to knock Tom out. Tom, don't take this the wrong way, but
yeah, I don't care if he takes the wrong way. I want him to beat Tom too.
Yeah, because with that team's just stacked everywhere. So, and that's just not that's not going to make any difference on who wins. It's not who we want to win. But when I call that game on Monday, I'm going to try to be as neutral as possible. But I'm rooting for Tom to get knocked out, just because that team scares me. Although if I get knocked out, who cares, right? But.
Well, there's 2. Our teams have a lot of offense. Their teams have a lot of defense. And Dan's is more of a mix, I'd say. But I think the ones are stronger. The defensive teams are strongest.
Yeah, I added Dan to the stream. So Dan, you can rag on us all you want. Tell us what you're thinking about your game on Monday. You liking your chances?
Yeah,
you beat him in the regular season. That was a hell of a game.
Yeah, I got a lot of rolls there, and I pulled it out of my ass at the end. But I mean, he's got a better team than I do for sure. But you know how these things go. I mean, I have enough.
Yeah.
I have enough to win, but I've gone away from the build a stat team all the way around to every position like some people like to do. And I think if you have a good core set of calls on offense and defense that play on your ratings and your cards, you can beat anybody, as you guys know. So
yeah,
it's a matter of making the right calls at the right time.
Interesting result there. It was a 4-2-5 defense. The linebackers were on the line of scrimmage. He doubled Reed with the free safety. But he threw it to the look-in zone, which was empty. So the white die 6 came into play, even though he was doubled. There wasn't 2 men in the zone. It was his free safety's role was beaten by the 6, and it turned into a short gain. Inside run to Camara out of a 3 wide, and the white die 1 bites him in the butt because that would have been a short gain if it would have been in a base formation. Yeah, so I think you're right. You are the underdog there. but anything can happen in these playoff games. You get a couple of turnovers, you get some, go for it on fourth down and make it or miss it. All that can have an effect. Pitch out right to Kamara, guessed wrong, nobody's in the zone. He wants that 7 again, and he gets it. Touchdown, and the Redskins go from being down 18-6 to now pending the extra point. Let's see, he might go for 2 here. He can up either 19-18 or let's see if he goes for 2. What would you do? Would you go for 2 here, guys?
Go for 2.
Yeah, I would too. No sense in going up 2 when you can go up 3. And he's on a roll. He's gotten them guessed wrong a couple times. He's thinking about it. Ed's kind of the one that taught me that, man. I mean, I would go for 2 too, but not without any rhyme or reason. But it seemed like Ed, whenever he has a good team, he's like the first couple touchdowns, he's going for 2 to try to make that, extra painful for you if you give up the score. So here we go, 19-18, and he's going for 2. Again, he goes for the pro set, which I hate because Janovich can't run. But then every once in a while you play a coach and they key Janovich, trying to be too clever. Short pass to Janovich, and it's going to hit a blank. So incomplete. Quinn was doubling Kamara. If he would have guessed run, it still would have been incomplete. But they do get the lead. They go from being down by 12 to now leading by 1. Let's see how Tony responds. 4-3 showing blitz. Tony's got a couple of 7s on the line. He hit a sniper scope on a short pass earlier. So, and of course, Breda's great. Guessed wrong. Egan's got the short game. Guessed right. Quick out left to Gronk. Maybe I shouldn't say that. I should rather play Keith because Keith, this team is kind of like one of Tony's old teams with the 6 linebackers, strong D line. He's got good personnel everywhere else too. Like I said before, there's really no good options in the playoffs, especially when you get to the semifinals. So he's got 2 6s and a 4. And that 4-3 run defense, when you have 5s and 6s on the line with decent pass rush, that's a handful. He's got Atkins 6'11", DeMarcus Lawrence 6'12". Screen right to Breida, 2 men in the zone, but it's guessed wrong. And that's going to go on the D cards for only a 2-yard gain. It was a white die 6 too, so by plugging the zone, he prevented the +10. 3rd and 7. You don't want to go 3 and out here if you're Tony and give him the ball right back. So, Dan, did you play these teams in the regular season? Anything memorable from your games with them, if you had them? Where's Kansas City? Minnesota. Minnesota beat Kansas City 26-7. Short pass to Jordy Nelson. Single covered. And it's going to be another pick. It's deja vu all over again as Luck threw 2 picks against the Redskins in the regular season, and he's thrown his second pick on back-to-back drives here. So let's see if Tony can come up with a stop here. 19-18 Redskins in front. Three-3-5 against a 3 wide. Andrews going out with a bang, Tony says. Pitch out left to Kamara. Look out for the white die 1. Stays away from that, gets 5 yards. It'll be 2nd and 5 at the 38. 2:06 to go in the 3rd quarter. Let's see, did he play Washington? I don't see a Kansas City-Washington matchup. So it looked like it was definitely going to be Minnesota coming out on top. Now it's anybody's game. Guessed wrong button hook, looking pass to Chris Carson. That's going to pick up 10. So 1st and 10 down to the 28. Washington looking to open up an 8-point lead, or at least a 4-point lead, as long as they don't turn the ball over. Dan's got mic issues. Hey, we all got issues we got to deal with from now and again, so no problem. Curl to Julio Jones, 4-3 showing blitz, and he's bringing the blitz. Free safety's on line of scrimmage as well as one of the linebackers, and it's a dump off to Galladay, but misses his completions. A 40% chance of a sack. O'Day Boucher again was the challenge against Damon Harrison. Again, showing blitz. Tony's got some pass rushers as well. Like we talked about earlier, Dunlap, pitch out right to Kamara against the run call, so it's guessed right. Watch out for that -7 on a 5. Instead, it gets a +3, and it's a fumble. And just like that, the tides have turned again. And he's going to return it, and he's going to get a long gain, 34 yards down to the 41. So from Kamara's fumble chances on that is 6 out of 1,000. So 0.6%. Wow, says Keith. Really, he's thinking of another word that has an extra letter in it. But he says, wow. Wow is right, says Tony. Oh, my stars and garters. One of those big plays and turnovers that we talked about. You had both on that one. You had the turnover, then a big play. 19-18, Skins on top, but Vikings on the verge. Wish I'd thrown it deep like I started to do, he says. So that one, if it would have guessed pass, it wouldn't have been a fumble. But he guessed it right. He got the right result. He returned it. So luck might get bailed out here. Inside run to Breida. Still a lot of time left. So shouldn't be making these grand proclamations when you still have a whole quarter of football or stratomatic football to play. 2nd and 1 after a 9-yard guessed wrong pickup by Breida. 8 unfatigued carries left for him. Breida is one of the main characters in The Last Kingdom. Today's episode of the SSFA quarterfinals is brought to you by The Last Kingdom. See it on Netflix today. 3 fumbles today, says Keith, unlike my running backs. Yeah, you hate when those low fumble guys. That's a minimum fumble guy. They cough it up. Quarterback sneak the luck. Guessed wrong. Picks up 5. 1st down. Oh, my goodness. If he had called run there, that would have been another fumble. These random rolls. 1 to 1,000. You never know what you're going to get. We are into the 4th quarter now. 4-3 showing blitz. Off tackle left to Coleman. Guessed correctly. Now there's a run call. It's going to lose a yard. We looked at the field goal kickers earlier. He's 2 through 10 inside the 22 and 2 through 8 from the 23 to the 32. So it would be good if Keith could stop him here and make the field goal at least a little bit less automatic. 2nd and 11, 4-3 showing blitz with Breida in the backfield. Breida's got that guessed right short gains. It's going to be an inside run to Breida, guessed wrong, and that's going to pick up 6. So now he's into that 22, 13 to 22 range where he's 2 through 10. But he's still subject to the variable field goal rule. 3-3-5 showing blitz. Coleman in the backfield. The pass rush matchups are the asterisks against the 3 pass blocking Coleman. DeMarcus Lawrence up against DeMar Dotson. A 10 up against a 4. So his best bet is Atkins against the center or the free safety against Coleman if he brings it. You might see a flat pass here though, with it only being 3rd and 5. So I'm not sure if you sell out and try to go for the sack. It's a run call and it's a draw call. Wow, nice job by Keith. That pushes it back to the further field goal range. Guessed wrong. That would have been a 28-yard pickup because the white die was a 2. I'm not sure about the containment there. I think it would have broke contain because he's got good old Joe Schobert back there, who's a 0. So that would have been a huge play to go from being a touchdown to either a field goal or possibly a missed field goal. A touchdown if you call past this, Tony. So definitely containment was not in place. Schobert wouldn't have helped. So 4th and 6, Crosby comes in to try to nail this. Give the Vikings the lead back. Keith says, phew, lucky, but that was just a good call. Good coaching, says Tony, and good rolling by Tony as well as he avoids the 9, 10, 11, and 12. Did not get helped by the variable rule. So Vikings back on top, 21-19. And the Redskins will start at their own 30. 12:36 to go in the game. Tony says, yeah, I sure wish I had the extra point back. That's another reason why you go for 2 more often, I think, because these kickers now, with their misses on 11 and 12 or sometimes on 10 straight, it's not automatic. It's not an automatic extra point anymore.
The way Ed was explaining it on the forum, even if you're 100% kicking that extra point, as soon as you think you're above 50% going for 2, your chances, and why not do it?
Right. Yeah, a lot of it's, again, the ratings of the players. Like, if you're going up against Tom and all the 5s and 6s, maybe it doesn't make as much sense. But, if you got a good matchup, the guy's got a 4 nose tackle and a 0 defensive end with 0 run rated linebackers, maybe you do, shove it up the gut and see if you can make it.
Well, if your quarterback's good on a short pass, that's obviously a big factor too.
Absolutely. So 1st and 10 at the 30. Still haven't seen too much of Chris Carson. Kamara's been just fine, and he has 5 unfatigued carries left. What's good about Kamara is his dual threat. You got to watch. He's got a 4 guarding him on a deep pass, or even on a short pass, or flats. He's got his
Carson's card this year.
Say that again.
How good is Carson's card?
It's chunky, but it's pretty good. I mean, he's nowhere near the pass catcher, but he's got the short gains like on 4 and some big hits on the edges instead of having the short gains on 6 and 7. Guessed wrong. Pitch out left to Kamara as a run call. And there's that -7 I talked about earlier. That's just like a sack. So you got to be careful going to the well too often. He wasn't calling a lot of run earlier, but he is now. He goes 3 wide, 2nd and 17. Rivers with the positive results on 8 and 9 on a deep pass. That might come into play. Screen to Kamara. Guessed right. It's going to hit a white die 6. That'll be a 9-yard pickup, 3rd and 8. Let's check the box score. 3rd downs today. Washington's only had 6 third down chances. They're 2 of 6. Minnesota, 1 of 9 on 3rd down. So that's been a big part of the story today as well. Crossing pattern to Moore. That's where he hit that big one before the half. You get a +14 on Rivers' card. And this time it's a receiver rating, but it lands on 10 between the 2 completions on 9 and 11. So he'll be punting. Looking to get a stop here. So that big play on that drive was the guest right end run that lost 7. Fair catch by Edelman. And that's where Minnesota will take over. They still have 7 unfit carries left for Breida, and they have Tevin Coleman and Latavius Murray waiting in the wings. So plenty of carries for the Vikings. 4-3 showing blitz. Corral to Evans. He's bringing the house. Tony's had a couple of 7s on the line, and the line holds up because it was a 1X. Incomplete on Luck's card. Ten minutes to go in the game, 10:30. Again, 4-3 showing blitz. So you sell out that one time, but now what do you do, Nathan? Do you hold back and plug the zones, call run, or bring it again? So he makes the right call. He calls run, and it's a run call. Loses a yard. 3rd and 11. Another 1X. What do you think? Is Luck? What is Luck's? No. 5 is incomplete. I was thinking of 4 where he's got that straight plus 29. He's dangerous, gets strong on deep passes.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like he's throwing very many deep passes. He's got a 4 out there matched up every time.
Goes back to the well and goes to Evans on 3rd and 11, and he gets it for 10 yards. So that run call that made him lose a yard comes in huge. Now, if you're somebody crazy like me, you might go for it here, but I don't think Tony's going to do that. His level of sanity is nowhere near the danger zone like mine is. 4th and 1. Here comes the punt. 47-yarder. You got that Jakeem Grant dangerous card back there. He returns it for 3. So 1st and 10, Redskins. Down by 2. 9 minutes left. Rivers is due for a deep pass here at some point. There it is, deep to Kamara. Single cover by a 4. Incomplete on a 5. Interesting result there as the 5 comes up again. That was the first down result on the previous drive when he ran it to an end run and landed, and Tony guessed correctly, and landed on that -7. 2nd and 10. Kamara still in the blocking back set. Quick out right to Reed. Guessed right at 5 there. Interception split, incomplete. Interception split on the good defense cards. So it's 2 through 5 instead of 2 through 4. That'll bring up 3rd and 10. Squeaky bum time, as they say in England, when you get to this point in the game. 4-2-5 showing blitz. What do you think about this, Nathan? Got your 4-2-5 back, but now with the blitz showing, you can, it's going to be either empty long or empty look in.
I don't mind that. I mean, I probably have the nickel, but what is his 2 DTs there?
He's got 2 good ones. He's got Damian Harris 6'5" up against 5 against a 5 here, which has come up a couple times, and a 10 against the 7. Bomb to Galladay. The free safety's coming, but nobody else. Defender extra long gain, and he just can't reach it as the Jalen Ramsey 6 says, wags his fingers, says, no, not this way. You should have gone to the other side. Should have gone to David Moore. Hindsight's 20/20 though. The good thing is the pass blocking held up. Wrong card, wrong guy. Oh yeah, 9 is the long gain, I think, or at least the plus 31 on, plus 31 on Rivers card. So we'll have to punt again. And breathe a sigh of relief if you're Tony. And you can breathe even more of a sigh of relief as he lands on the 2 touchdown. Minnesota is going up 2 scores as long as they nail this extra point. I'm guilty of doing that too, not even considering kicking out of bounds there. But you got to think about that, especially when you get down to the end of the game, I guess. You didn't want to give up the field position either, especially. But
well, he's got a nasty punter. That 7 and 8 roll are ugly, so
might as well go out of bounds, right?
And got a 31 and a touchdown up at the top.
First punt return touchdown this year. He had 2 kick returns in one game versus Dennis, and I still lost. Well, yeah, Tony, that's why I don't like that Andre Roberts guy. Here comes Crosby in. This will be a big extra point. He missed one earlier. So now it's looking more likely like it'll be me and you, Nathan. Just one little play there. 9-point lead.
Might be like mine and Ed's game where we both scored 30 in the first half.
That was quite the game, man. That was crazy.
Then the scoring died right off.
Okay, so here we go. Does he bring it out with Grant? Does he risk it? He does. Wouldn't that have been something? Back-to-back touchdowns. So instead, he takes over at the 27. A card like that, I think I'm bringing it out every time just about.
Yeah, it looks pretty decent, and you're not facing a bad kicker to bring it out against. What is that, a 37 on 8?
Right. And the long gain on 12, so.
Yeah, there's only really one bad roll on there.
The 11 plus 15, yeah. So definitely worth, that's the kind of stuff you do in your scouting, just to figure out, does this make it worth it for me? So here comes Kamara and Rivers. Rivers has not hit a bomb yet today. Pitch out left to Kamara. He brings Von Miller down on the other side. This is going to be a 12-yard pickup. And first and 10, you got to score here. You got to score in this drive, and you want to score quickly if you can. 17 for 75 so far for Kamara. So those corner sixes, Tony may not have the 6-rated linebackers, but those corner sixes certainly help. Quick slant to Reed, a good call there as he abandoned the zone to help us 4 on the other side. So first and 10 near midfield, 6:18 to go. There's still another verse or two to write in this sonnet. Deep to Kamara against the run call. Rivers, are you going to do it? He does do it. Not on his own card, but he finally hits a bomb, taking it down to the 19. And just like that, with 5:42 to go, it's first and 10 inside the red zone. Glover Quinn gets beaten like a rented mule, and the Skins are in business.
He needed Trey Boston there.
He needed Trey Boston. You're right. That's what you're going to say to me when Kittle gets takes a whooping to my 4 free safety or strong safety.
Hopefully.
What do you think about this Redskins team name? What do you think they're going to change it to? Because it's changing now.
I don't know. When they've had plenty of time to think about it, you think they've probably been figuring that out for a while.
Yeah. Quick slant to Jordan Reed. Guessed right. 5 defender there. And it's a short gain inside the 10. First and goal at the 9. Okay, so here's an interesting question. You're down 9. 5 minutes to go in the game. You get a touchdown. If he does get a touchdown, do you go for 2 then?
What's the score? They're down 9. So
Yeah. So the risk reward, it's an incomplete pass there, guess right. The reward is you're down 1 point. So even if Tony gets a touchdown, assuming he doesn't go for 2 there, you're still within a score. But you risk, if you miss it, where you're, instead of being down 2, you're down 3. So a field goal will only tie it, not win it for you.
I think you just take the point.
I go for
the touchdown, you're going to lose anyway.
Yeah, I guess you consider the opponent, but yeah, I see what you're saying. But I kind of like the idea of, okay, there's a lot of time left. He does get the touchdown, by the way, 14-yard connection, as Andy Janovich holds off Von Miller, 35% chance of a sack. He does what you suggested, just takes the point. And the thing I don't like is that now, if God forbid you roll another touchdown, oh my God, you're back in the same boat where you're down 2 scores. So instead, he rolls a 35-yard return down.
Yeah, but he's at least putting himself in position to win with a field goal.
Right. That's the other side. Special teams killing me. So 2-point lead. Vikings on top of the skin. .354 to go. 4-3 showing blitz. Field position's bad because now you really need to make some good calls here. Square it right to Mike Evans. That's not one of them, but you might get a good roll. And you do. He gets the blank on Evans' card. Nice job there. That's a sigh of relief. White die 6. That could have been very bad. That one hurt, says Tony. 2nd and 10. 3:36 to go. Let's see if he shows blitz again. He does. 2 tight end set against the 4-3 showing blitz. Well, no matter what happens, this has been a good one. And thanks for joining me on this fine July 3rd.
Yeah, it's a fun game.
Inside run to Breida. He calls around and leaves him home. That's what I prefer instead of short yardage. But, he does not get the block. That was DJ Fluker's side, and he's a 5. I thought that was going to go for 7. Instead, it goes for only 2. White die 6. 3rd and 8. Big play here. 3 wide for the Vikings. Now, he's called run here, trying to break through against Joe Schobert's 6-0. 0 against the run, but I'm not sure if he's going to do it here. Might rely on luck. Goes for a crossing pattern to Jordy Nelson, and that's going to be a 1st down. Big play there. He would have had to double him. Instead, he was doubling Evans, the guy he was going to earlier. 2:24 to go.
I think in this game I'd have Jordy Nelson starting where Edelman's at.
Yeah, he's got some juice. Edelman deep is
He's pretty
not what
weak,
you want.
especially the way he's playing against him.
Yeah. Keith goes with that might be the old ball game, but he doesn't really believe that. He needs a stop. That's what you got to get. But 2 first downs by Tony here. He'll be able to run it out without doing anything else. He doesn't show blitz this time. Off tackle to Breida. Guessed wrong. Nobody there. 6-yard pickup. 2nd and 4. Tony's done a good job with Breida. He seems to have gotten him guessed wrong more often than not, and he still has a handful of carries left. 13 runs for 75 yards for Mr. Breida. 2-minute warning, 2nd and 4. Now he shows blitz, 4-3 showing blitz. Look for another run. Because remember, Breda's got that short gain guessed right on 6. I don't think you'll see Keith King. Short yardage D against an inside run to Breda. Keith is hoping for a negative. Doesn't get it. So no containment, but at least he didn't get the first down. This could be the ball game. 3rd and 4. He gets a first down here. That would be, he'd be able to run it down to 8 seconds left with a 4th down, but just by taking 3 knees. Four three showing blitz. Inside run, he calls run, nobody there. And goes nowhere. So Keith has still got a chance here. You're in long field goal range. Remember, he's 2 through 6, 11 and 12 from this range, I believe, if I'm right. But if you try, it is. If you try a long field goal here, you give him the ball back at the 43, and he only needs a field goal to win. So what do you do here? Punt it?
Go for it.
Yeah, I go for it too. Tony says, give me a second. Guessed wrong, that would have been a first down. So that was Tevin Coleman in the game. I thought it was Breda, but he went to Coleman because he's a better pass catcher. Trying to get Keith to think, hey, I'm going to throw a flat pass here. Now he wishes he would have thrown a flat pass. I think you can make an argument for punting it, but I think going for it is the right choice. And he is going to punt it. You just hope it doesn't go in the end zone. You want to pin him here. This is, what would be a cool feature to build into the game is to take a delay a game penalty. See, at least make him decline it because it goes in the end zone. Got to punt that, says Dan. Dan says got to punt. He's a team punt. I'm a team go for it. So Keith has got the ball back with 1 timeout, 137.
It was a 16-yard difference. You get the first down, the game's over, 4th and 4.
Right, exactly. You have a greater than 50% chance of ending the game there. Maybe they should add in like a pooch punt. 16 yards is billed in field.
The old face-to-face league I played, we had a formula for each punter based on their touchbacks and inside the 20. And basically, you first determined whether it was successful, and then you rolled to what.
Got it.
Certain yard line.
So Keith goes big or go home. He goes for the bomb there, and of course, 2-6 cornerbacks. He tries to go to Julio Jones. That is incomplete. If he would have gone with an end run here, which I know he was thinking about, that would have been a 12-yard pickup because he was not plugging either of the zones. Hindsight. Dan liked the bomb idea. Oh, no, Dan, maybe he's saying great idea about your punting chart. That's probably what it is. I like that idea, too.
Well, yeah, it was actually individualized by the punters, too, so it's kind of cool.
Yeah, instead of a generic chart. Slant to Jordan Reed, single covered, 3-minute zone. And an 11-yard pickup. Man, you feel so good when you're in the spot and you get that first down. Okay, I'm on my way. I can do it. That's going to take it down to 107. I bet he'll go hurry up. Spikes it. What are you spiking it there for? What do you think about that?
I don't know about that.
I know, you need the down more. Either timeout or hurry up. You are in 4-down territory. And now he goes to 3 wide. He's trying to lean on his 7 pass blockers to get a dump off or 2. I like the idea of keeping the running game.
Get turned off.
It gets turned off 30 seconds or less.
Okay.
But I like the idea of having that running threat. Maybe get a run call out of Tony if you hit a couple of end runs. But everybody's seen me do that towards the end of the half or a game, run in, run. So maybe, maybe it's not the best strategy. Square it right to Jones. The
Hard
5 linebacker.
too, with a minute to go.
He gets what he needed. He gets a first down, and he spiked it the last time. I bet you he'll spike it again. I still would go hurry up. He spikes it. So he is, he gets 3 downs to get a first down. He's got a great quarterback, great offensive line, a good quarterback, I should say, a great offensive line. Rivers is pretty good in this set.
He's the one with the nasty deep card, right?
Yeah, he's got 8, long gain on 8, plus 31 on 9, but the interception split's on 10, and it's over 50%, like 2 through 8 or something like that. 37 passes for Rivers today. Slant to Jordan Reed. Some pressure coming. Von Miller's coming. Incomplete. That'd be 3rd and 10. That's why I don't like, what are you saving that timeout for? I know you want to use it to set yourself up for the field goal, but man, you got to get first downs here. No D, no dump off. Interesting that he has his Abuche as the left guard, because that high linebacker reading is going to go up against a 5 instead of a 7. Sideline left to Galladay. 2 men there. Guessed right. And that's picked off. That's the game, folks. The Minnesota Vikings come up with just the right call at the end, and they hold on for the 28-26 win over Washington. I guess that spiking the ball didn't really come into play there. Spectator left the game. Come on, guys. You got to stay till the end. Get that result in your playoff file. Dan says punt. He's right. He says that 16 yards made all the difference.
Oh, yeah. Game went 10 minutes ago.
Hindsight is 20/20, baby. So we have a couple of knees here to Andrew Luck. And that should be it. So Nathan, you and me, you're going to break up my undefeated season, crush all the dreams of the Seattle team, trying to get back to their 5th Super Bowl in a row. What a poor record, though, man. 1-4 in Super Bowls for me in SSFA.
You went to the last 4?
Yeah, 4 in a row. Lost them all. I'm like the Minnesota Vikings.
Well, hopefully I can give you that anguish going 5 in a row.
The Buffalo, yeah, you're doing me a favor. It's going to be a shootout, I think. Our game's going to be a shootout. So there you go. That's the end of the game. Vikings advance. And we have 1 quarterfinal game left, which will be played Monday. That will be the Jets and Chiefs. And that'll be in a sea of red there in Kansas City's home stadium. So hopefully that comes up to help them against a really good Jets team. But we'll see what happens. Hopefully you guys will be able to join me on Monday for that game as well. All right, guys. I will go ahead and shut it down. Any last words, Nathan?
Nope. Good luck to those guys, and good luck to me.
Yeah, there you go. Congratulations to Tony. He's not 2-time Tony for nothing. He's on his way to the semifinals, and he'll face the winner of Monday's game, the Chiefs and the Jets. Okay, I'm going to shut it down. So we'll see you guys next time.